Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing and football selections for Sunday, the 9th of November 2025. So, an extremely unlucky day on the football, but also a very profitable day on the football. The horse race was disappointing, although we was only a favourite beating us away from a 40 to 1 winner. Miss Miss Dusky Rocker, something like that. Came there going really well. Well, was always up there. It was absolutely tanking at 40 to 1. I think it returned 28s in the end. A lot of the other horses ran really disappointing, but there were, out of the November handicap, only the favourite could beat it. So it ran an absolute cracker at 40 to 1. So let me get into the football. Let me just tell you how unlucky we were to not bring the house down yesterday. So let me just tell you where we are with this current bank. So the current bank is £324.70. At the start of yesterday, Saturday, it was £231. Deduct the £46.20, £231. Oh, why did I even bother doing that? About 190. And then yesterday's returns obviously came up to £324.20 for the current bank. So that was £140 added in. Um, so what happened yesterday on the football? So the both teams to score bet came up. The result and both teams to score, two results came up. Now let me tell you this one very quickly. The result and both teams to score was Swindon versus Tranmere. That was correct. It came up late on. The other one was, why do I do this to myself? It was Hull versus Portsmouth. That came up 3-2. The one that let us down was Tottenham to beat Man U. Well, of course, Tottenham aren't going to beat Man U. It was 2-1 to Tottenham up until the last kick or header, I think it was. Header. Last header of the game. Literally, he, Delit, whatever his name was, went up for the corner, headed it in, the whistle went. How unlucky is that? That would have returned £278 for that £8 bet. The over 2.5 goals bet came up, and also up until very, very, very late on again, all we needed for the cert treble was Arsenal to beat Sunderland, and they was doing that up until few minutes to go. Um, we were extremely unlucky on probably not having on having a return. So it would have made £98 if Arsenal would have hung on, and it would have made 278 if Man U hadn't have scored with the last touch of the game. That's an extra £370 would have put in the kitty. So we could very easily have been sitting here today on pretty much £700 from a starting bank of 150. It was literally, I am talking through my pocket. I'm not gutted. I'm just thinking like, how close was that? So we go again. So now from a starting bank of £324, using 20%, we will be staking £64.94 on these selections. These are selections that I wouldn't normally pick, but that might be why we're showing a profit, to be fair. So here we go. So it's a £25 treble. You must pick a bookmaker that pays out on 2 goals clear. The bets are as follows: £25 on Aston Villa, Newcastle, and Manchester City all to win. That's £25 treble. The next one is it's a £12 both teams to score treble. Villa versus Bournemouth, Brentford versus Newcastle, and Man City versus Liverpool. If you're waiting for the horse racing, there is some horse racing even on this pathetic day's racing. So we're going for the result and both teams to score Trixie again. So it's a £2 Trixie that comes to £8. This is doubles and trebles. So Villa to win and both teams to score, Newcastle to win and both teams to score, and Man City to win and both teams to score. If I was picking them, I probably wouldn't touch Villa. I might touch Newcastle. I'd definitely have Newcastle versus Brentford for the both teams to score. But as I said, it's the AI, ChatGPT, picking these selections based on the SOP. Nothing to do with me. And once again, that's probably why we're showing a profit. And Man City to win and both teams to score. £2 Trixie. And then finally, so basically you want absolute carnage in these same matches. So it's a £14 over 2.5 goals treble. The Man City and Liverpool match, Brentford versus Newcastle match, and Villa versus Bournemouth. And then finally you want £5.94 on the over 3.5 goals treble, the same matches. So that is where we are staking the £64, which is 20% of the current bank. So let me get on to today's horse racing bets. So it's a dreadful day's racing. So what I've done is I'm showing you the selections, but I'm also showing the staking plan that I've done. I sound so organised now. Um, we're staking, I think it's roughly, what is it? Just give me 1 second. 740, 360, 560, 760. I think it's £7.60 in total. All you need is one of these selections to win for your money back at these odds. Any more than one winner, you're then showing obviously a clear profit. So I shall tell you the stake I put on. Straight away, you can see that the price has moved for Invincible now. Now, I actually thought it said Invincible New early on, but Invincible now. Um, so the selections are as follows: Admiral Stewart at 11-4 in the 12:30 at Senna. It's a two-horse race, both tackling fences for for the first time. I'd much sooner go for the outsider. That's basically it. Yes, the other one's much better, but 11-4 in a 2-run race, I'll take my luck. I'll tell you the stakes in a minute. Invincible Neo at 4-1 in the 1 o'clock at Sandown. I think this is a 3-horse race, right? The favourite has never been over chase fences before, so there's an element of risk. The other two are much have much more experience than the favourite, although the favourite looks more progressive, but it's got a jump. Nicky Henderson, uh, not dodgy stable. It's a dodgy stable when it comes to me actually fancying one of their horses and it actually running well. This isn't one of theirs. The favourite's Nicky Henderson's, but this is Gary Moore. Gary Moore has also got the favourite in the first race, so they might be going for a quick double. So Invincible Neo, it wants further, although it did run over 2 mile and 2 mile 4 last year, but also it ran over 3 mile, 3 mile 4, and 4 mile 2. All I'm going for a bit more experience over chase fences. I actually saw it in one of those races. I think it won like a Plumpton Marathon or something like that, or Fontball, something like that. And it was tanking all the way around. And then he got shuffled back. And then I think the jockey kind of panicked. He won in the end, but he actually won literally on the line. This 2 mile 4, it probably is a tad short for it, but there's question marks over the Ben Pauling horse, which is the other one that I haven't mentioned. Its jumping can go to pot a little bit. So whether it might be, I think it's called the Good Doctor. It may well have improved its jumping and maybe a much better performer this time around with like a year's chase fencing under its belt. But I just think there's too many question marks. The other one is Glinbray in the 1:30 at Sandown. It said it's unsure over 2 mile 4 furlong. Well, it is because 2 mile 3 it actually weakened, but it's bred to want this trip at least. I think if it gets a relatively easy lead, it's had a good winter and summer on its back. I do think that you might see a better horse. It's a competitive race, but it's also a lot of horses where the racing post ratings have remained. Sorry, not remained. The racing post ratings are below the handicap marks, which is quite confusing really because it shows that how I look at things that none of them have really warranted their handicap mark yet. So it's a tricky race. Keep stakes. Obviously, I'm £7.60 in. So what I'm doing is a 30p win patent comes to £2.10. A £1.50 single on Glinbray, a £2 single on Invincible Neo, and a £2 single on Admiral Stewart. If Admiral Stewart wins the first, you've got your money back straight away. I'm not saying it will. It's 200 race, it probably won't win. And then you've got chances. If any other two win, you've actually got a tad more than your money back. But then obviously, if the first one wins, you're guaranteed at least your money back, and you've still got two more horses to run. So I wish you the best of luck in the football, the best of luck in the horse racing, and we'll see what happens. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.